Hello, everybody, and welcome into Gambling Goals. I'm your host, Mitch Carr, and look at that. It's not exactly his face, but it's a face. This is Prospector Sam. You can follow him on Twitter, Prospector_Sam. I am at Mitch Carr TV. And I know, Sam, you look for gold nuggets, but I'm sorry you're not going to find any nuggets because you are so hot that everything you touch is absolutely molten right now. You're 8 for your 8 in your last picks. That includes 2-0 midweek Champions League. The first was Manchester City and PSG. You picked under 2.5 goals. Man City wins that one 2-0. And I figure when you see Mbappe's not starting and when you see ice on the field, you must have been licking your chops.
City did exactly what I thought, which was defend well, and they kept the Parisians out of goal, which is exactly what we were looking for. So a nice win there in the midweek.
I know you bet the under, and an 11th minute goal does not make you happy, especially by the team that doesn't need to score.
City, that defense is just so good. They held on, managed to keep PSG off the board, really managed to keep them from getting too many good opportunities. That's all they needed, was to keep a clean sheet, and Pep got his team exactly where they needed to be.
Now, as far as Chelsea and Real Madrid goes, you had just had Chelsea to advance at minus 165. Chelsea wins that match 2-0, and if you parlayed your two picks and bet $10, you won 25-33 because you hit both of your picks.
It's nice to see a team over a goal because that's a collector's item basically at this point. And they managed to handle that game pretty comfortably. So an all-English final is on the way.
Speaking of that Champions League final, an all-England final between Manchester City and Chelsea, I'm looking at lines on Bovado right now, and Manchester City is basically even. They're minus 105 to win that match. Chelsea is plus 310, a heavy underdog. It's plus 245 for them to draw in the 90 minutes. And I think that plus 245 bet is actually pretty good because a lot of these finals, these Champions League finals, they go to extra time. They go to penalty kicks. And I could certainly see a matchup between what might be the two best defensive clubs in the world going to extra time and then eventually going to PKs.
It's going to set up to be a bit of a cagey match and a bit of a chess match, I think, which I think you're right, sets up for probably a very close matchup in that final. If I was looking to bet Manchester City to win outright, I probably would wait a bit before doing that. I think that line probably moves a little bit. If you're looking to bet Chelsea, I might put some money down right now.
Okay, so that is the Champions League final. That takes place on May 29th, and that's going to be in Istanbul. But the same two teams, as you mentioned, are going to play in the Premier League on Saturday. So what do you like here?
This game doesn't mean all that much for either of these teams right now. Chelsea a little bit more than City as they're fighting for Champions League spots, which is why for me the bet here is Chelsea plus a half. That's minus 110 if you're grabbing it at a book. I just see this one being a little bit more of a lean towards Chelsea with what they're playing for. I expect you see Chelsea come away with this or come out of this with at least a draw.
I expect this to be a very vanilla, boring defensive battle. And if you're not really risk averse, if you're willing to take a big risk out there, guessing a 0-0 draw and nailing that right on the head is plus 800. So some great value there, although there is a lot more risk there. Now moving on, you've got another team that is vying for Champions League spots, and that is West Ham. They're going to be playing Everton. What do you have in that game?
You've actually got Everton playing for European spots too. So this is a huge match for these two clubs. I won some money last week on the over in Everton, and I think you see over 2.5 here again. Everton are going to come out hot. They're going to come out trying to score because they need to make up ground in the table. And then West Ham just score in bunches. They've hit the over 2.5 in 5 of their last 6. I love it to be at least a 3, maybe even 4 or 5 goal game, and the over feels like good money.
Now, for those of you who don't follow the Prospector on Twitter, he is at Prospector_Sam. And for those of you who don't follow him, he's a Spurs fan, and you've got a Spurs pick for us.
Mourinho's gone, and that brings a smile to my face. I know you can't see it, but it's there. Mourinho's tactics just never fit this side. Kane, Son, Bale, Mora, the whole slew of offensive options they have. They're able to take it to teams that are shakier defensively, like they did Sheffield last week. And arguably nobody in the league that's at the middle of the table is more shaky defensively than Leeds. I expect Tottenham in that early Saturday game come out and take all 3 points in this one.
He is Prospector Sam. You can find him at Prospector_Sam on Twitter. I am at Mitch Carr TV. Those are 3 picks for you. We've got Manchester City and Chelsea. He likes Chelsea plus a half a goal. Then you've got Everton and West Ham. He likes the over 2.5, and then Spurs to win. And that's not all. He's got 2 more picks for you. You can read all 5 picks on dimers.com. You can also find us on Twitter, like I've mentioned. If you enjoy the content here, please hit that subscribe button.